fellow astronauts, to the return of the zombie astronaut. I am the zombie astronaut. I'm a huge fan of old-time radio, as many of you know, and I thought I'd show you 3 episodes of 3 television show spin-offs of 3 wonderful radio show series. We begin with the Inner Sanctum. Here's narrator Paul McGrath hosting the Inner Sanctum episode, Dead Level.
The American Broadcasting Company presents Inner Sanctum Mysteries.
Good evening, friends of the creaking door. This is your host to welcome you into the Inner Sanctum. Come on in and look over our sanctum. Interesting design, isn't it? The black on white motif was created by those famous southern decorators, Autopsy and Eva. You see, here we're not a bit concerned with the housing shortage. We have an expansion basement downstairs. When we need an extra room, we just dig one. We take pride here that everything is absolutely sanitary. Nothing is touched by human hands. And believe me, no other morgue can make that statement. Well, folks, ready for tonight's cataleptic continuity? Okay, then, grab onto a coffin handle and let's go. What we have here in a garage. My favorite model car. But the driver, Johnny Bryce, doesn't feel that way about it. Ask Johnny, and he'll tell you.
Ask me how I took a job like this, huh? Ask me and I'll tell you. I needed a job. It's not the kind of job you get used to. All the time you got that box riding in back of you. All the time there's death over your shoulder. Ah, well. All started 3 hours ago. Yeah. Just 3 hours ago. I just put the wagon away for the night.
Hello, Johnny.
Huh?
I've been waiting for you to get back.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Vera Craig. $1,000 for you, Johnny. All you have to do for it is to use this hearse.
What?
My husband, Alec, is dead. I want you to take his body away.
The parlor handles the orders.
Oh, this has to be handled differently. My husband has been murdered.
Well, then you call the cops.
Oh, I can't. I murdered Alec.
What?
Don't be so shocked. He was rotten, mean. I'm not sorry. Look, I've got to get rid of the body. All you have to do is get it out of the apartment and bury it. There's an alleyway next to the apartment house. You can park the hearse there. What do you say, huh?
No. No, I'm not touching anything dead.
But you're used to death. It's around you all the time.
I never get used to it. I hate that thing I drive around.
$1,000, Johnny.
No.
Think of what 1,000 can do for you. You can quit this job. You can get away from that thing.
No.
This'll be the last time you'll have to drive a hearse. All you have to do is get rid of Alec's body. Just get rid of my husband for me.
No.
Johnny, there's $1,000 and more.
Okay.
You looking for somebody, mister?
Yeah, I'm looking for Alec Craig's apartment.
I hear he lives on the next floor. 2C.
Oh, thanks.
Wait a minute. No use going up there, mister. Mr. Craig ain't home.
It's all right. I'll talk to Mrs. Craig.
Mrs. You can't do that, mister. He ain't married. There ain't no Mrs. Craig.
There wasn't any Mrs. Craig. And who was Vera? What was it all about? I had to go upstairs and find out. Something kept pulling me in. Ask me and I'll tell you it was death. You couldn't see it, but you knew it was there. For 1,000, not even for 1,000,000.
I just gonna ring the bell.
My name is Maxton. Steve Maxton, detective, 16th Precinct. You Alec Craig?
No, I'm a friend of Craig's.
I want to see Craig.
He's not home.
Who are you?
John Bryce.
Okay, Bryce. Suppose we go in and wait for Craig.
Craig won't be back tonight.
How do you know?
He told me.
What about the call?
Call?
Somebody phoned. Told me to get over here quick. Said there was a murder.
Murder?
That's right. Said Alec Craig was here in his apartment, dead. But now suppose you get inside like I told you.
You got this all wrong, Maxton. Somebody's kidding you. Yeah, somebody's pulling a gag on you. Craig isn't here.
What's behind the door?
I don't know.
I guess you were right, Bryce. Somebody was pulling a gag on me. Sorry to bother you, Bryce.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Vera.
There's a back entrance to this room, Johnny.
Listen, what's going on here?
I saw a body in that chair. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yes, Johnny. You saw Alec Craig's body.
What?
I put him in the closet to save you.
What's going on here? You told me that Craig was your husband, and the super said he wasn't even married.
The super told you the truth.
Why did you lie to me?
I had to make sure you'd help me.
But you did kill him?
Yes. He was blackmailing me. You've got to get him out of here quickly.
Nothing doing.
I'll meet you out at Mount Crescent Cemetery. All you have to do is carry the body down the back stairs to the hearse.
No. The deal's off.
Oh, no, it isn't, Johnny. It isn't off at all. You're going to do exactly as agreed. Why, you've got to now.
Now? What do you mean?
Spoke to the super, Johnny. He saw you here in the house. They'll find Craig's body if you don't take it out.
Let him find it. I had nothing to do with it.
What about Maxton? What about that detective, Maxton? He knows you now. Detectives are good at remembering faces, Johnny. If they find Craig's body, they'll blame you for the murder.
Why, you?
I'm sorry, Johnny, but there's nothing you can do about it. Not a thing.
For the night.
I didn't know you drove a hearse.
Oh, sure. That's the way I make my living.
I was waiting for you out front. You didn't come out that way.
Oh, there are back stairs to the apartment. I had the wagon parked here in the alley.
Why didn't you go in through the back? You went in the front way.
Oh, yeah, how did you know?
Maybe I was outside when you got here. What do you got in the hearse?
Oh, there's a box.
What's in the box?
Nothing.
Sure?
It's empty.
Then maybe you wouldn't mind if I had a look. What's the matter, Bryce?
The box is empty.
That's what you said.
Yeah, well, why bother to look in?
I'm not gonna bother. Like you said, the box is empty. I'll see you around sometime, Bryce.
I couldn't understand why Maxton let me off so easy. I didn't have time to figure it out.
I had a job to do at the cemetery, and I wouldn't wait much longer. I met Maxton in the alley. I was afraid he might tail me, so I came the long way around.
Why, what is it, Johnny?
The way you look. There in the moonlight.
What's the matter with the way I look?
There's something about you that...
Yes?
I'm getting out of here.
Not yet. You've got to bury Alec. You've got to if you're going to save your own skin.
No, I'm finished with the whole thing. I'm going back and talk to Maxton.
Hey, Bryce. You can tell me now.
Maxton.
Both of you stand right where you are.
Listen.
So you thought you got rid of me, huh, Bryce?
Maxton, I had nothing to do with it. I tell you honest. It was all her idea.
You picked a Lolo this time, Vera.
So you found out about us. What are you going to do?
A real Lolo.
What are you two talking about?
So this is the spot where you've been meeting him, huh?
Meeting?
I'll cut the act, Bryce. I warned my wife. If I ever caught her, I'd kill her.
Wife? But Vera's your wife?
No use, Johnny. There's nothing we can do about it now. He knows everything about it.
And you're getting it first, Bryce.
Maxton, listen to me.
Help me! Johnny!
I'm getting out of here before he comes to.
No, Johnny, you can't go yet. He'll find you no matter where you hide. I know him, Johnny. He'll have you hanged for Craig's murder.
I didn't kill Craig. You did.
We'll both hang. He'll fix it that way. You won't have a chance.
Listen,
Johnny! Use it. You know what you've got to do now, Johnny. Go ahead. This is your only way out now, Johnny.
No.
You've got to kill him.
I can't.
Hurry, Johnny, before it's too late.
What?
You don't want to die, do you?
No.
All you have to do is pull the trigger. It's so simple. Just pull it. Like this. See, Johnny, how simple it was? Now, Johnny, you can go back to the hearse and get Craig, and after you're through with the both of them, all our troubles will be over.
You're dead.
Am I? Touch my hand, Bryce.
No, get away from me.
Go ahead. Touch me, Bryce. Feel how alive I am.
No, you're dead. She killed you. I put you in the box. That blood on your shirt, that's where the bullet went.
This blood? It is effective, isn't it? But it's just a mixture of red ink and grease. But it did get the effect that Vera and I wanted.
So you really thought I was dead? We had to make you believe that, otherwise you wouldn't be of any use to us.
Why did it me? Why me?
We wanted her husband out of the way. We wanted him dead, but we didn't want to commit murder. We picked you for that, Bryce.
Why? You can't get away with this. Why, you...
No? What are you going to do, go to the police?
Yes.
Tell them your story? Go ahead and do that. Tell them how you held the murder gun. Tell them how your finger squeezed the trigger.
She made me do it. She made...
Think they'll believe that? No, Bryce. We worked up a perfect case against you, and there's not a thing you can do about it. So long, Bryce. Vera's waiting for me at the apartment.
Coming, Alec.
Hello, Vera. Angela? You don't seem very glad to see me.
Get out of here.
Craig told me everything. How you framed me into murder. He said it was all your idea.
It was.
Cute idea.
I told you to get out.
You waiting for Craig, huh?
That's none of your business.
Craig won't be here.
What?
Craig is dead.
Dead?
Uh-huh. I killed him.
No. You're lying. You wouldn't do a thing like that. You're not a murderer.
Oh, sure I am. You made me one. You remember this gun, don't you, Vera? All you do is pull the trigger. It's so simple. Remember?
Johnny,
Huh?
wait. That $1,000, Johnny?
Oh, yeah. $1,000. And more. This is where I came in.
You can have it now, Johnny. It's all here for you, just waiting.
You can do a lot with $1,000.
That's right, Johnny. That's right. You can get away from everything you hate. You won't have to drive that hearse anymore, Johnny. You can get away from death. Johnny, you can go away.
Operator, get me the police.
Johnny, why are you calling the police?
Hello? This is Johnny Bryce. I'm at 40 Elm Street, apartment 2C. I want to report a murder.
Johnny, don't go.
I want to report a murder.
Ready to leave the Sanctum now. Just follow me. I'll show you out. Nice story, wasn't it? Plenty of corpses and no remorse. And I'm glad that Johnny finally got the drop on Vera. But you should see the drop the hangman got on Johnny. Oh, by the way, the hearse was furnished by the Wormley Motor Company. Yes, it has a special built-in paranoid drive. Yes, indeed. Wormley makes the only car you want to be seen dead in. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
Next stop, Lights Out. Lights Out was brought to television by renowned TV director Fred Coe with Arj Oboler and was unceremoniously ended when it couldn't compete for Nielsen ratings with a little show called I Love Lucy. Here's the Lights Out episode featuring Basil Rathbone, Dead Man's Coat.
Lights out.
Hello. If a man would be invisible, let him go into a graveyard at the quarter hour before midnight and dig up from a grave a newly buried corpse. Then let him remove the coat from the corpse and put it on. And if he shall finish his dreadful work ere the hour of midnight striketh, then hath he gained the power to be invisible. But let him who doeth this...
Turn it off, Gregory.
Yes. For in
Lot of silly nonsense. I said it was a lot of silly nonsense.
Yes, sir, I suppose it is, sir.
I suppose you believe it. You're a fool, Gregory.
Yes, sir.
It's impossible. You know that.
May I go now, sir?
No, you may not go. What are you hinting at?
I'm not hinting, sir, at anything.
You've heard of this superstition before, haven't you?
Not quite sure that it is a superstition, sir.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Invisible. Put on a dead man's coat. That fool Gregory. Wouldn't be bad, though, if invisible. The things you could do to people. Wouldn't be bad, would it? Gregory!
Yes, sir?
Bring me another drink.
Yes, sir.
What I could do to people.
Your drink, sir. Evening paper just came, sir.
All right, get out.
Yes, sir. Here's Mr. Ingram's funeral is in the paper tonight, sir. He was buried today, sir.
And why not? He was dead.
Yes, sir. I was sorry to hear that.
I wasn't. I hated him.
The man's dead, sir.
And good riddance. Now get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Archibald Ingram, age 44, who died recently at his country home in Northport, was buried this afternoon at 3 p.m. in Lakeside Cemetery.
Gregory.
Yes, sir?
Gregory, do you really think there's anything in
what, sir?
In what the fellow was saying on the television, you fool.
You mean about the dead man's grave, sir?
Yes.
Coat? No, sir. I think it's absolute nonsense.
Give me a light, Gregory.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Gregory. We've got to be finished by midnight. Oh, let me in that grave. Here, give me that shovel. What time is it?
11 minutes before midnight, Mr. Francis.
Don't mention my name, you fool.
I'm sorry, sir. There's nobody around.
And if it won't help, at least shut up.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't help it, I'm afraid.
Everybody here is dead, except you and me.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't do it, sir.
What time is it now?
9 minutes before midnight, sir.
Aha! I found it. Gregory,
Yes, sir.
hand me down that heavy screwdriver.
Yes, sir.
No. Give me that axe. There isn't enough time.
No, sir, you wouldn't do that,
The
sir.
axe.
Oh, no, Mr. Francis!
Will you shut up? Come on, Ingram. Let go of it. Gregory, take this axe.
Yes.
Gregory. There. I've got it.
Now we'll see, Ingram, old boy. Or rather, we won't see, will we, Ingram? Nobody'll see.
Gregory.
Want to put it on, Gregory?
Where are you going?
Thought you'd run away. Thought you'd run away, did you?
Thought you'd run away and pass the word to the police. My boss is a grave robber, you were going to tell them.
Well, you just listen to me, my lad. You try anything like that, and you know what I'll do?
No, sir.
Do you think the police will take the word of an ex-convict against mine? Why, I've got enough on you to hang you, Gregory, and you know it. So if you try anything...
No, sir, I won't tell, sir, I won't tell.
You know you won't. Because if I don't turn you over to the police, I'll...
Why, I'm going to be invisible, Gregory. You won't be able to see me.
Nobody will be able to see me when I tell you the lying thrown out with my bare hands. I'll be invisible, and I'll murder you or anybody else that I want to. Now, get to work. And fill in that grave
Where some grave robber tore it up.
Well, what are you waiting for? Get down in that grave.
No, sir, I won't.
Don't.
Please don't make me get down in that grave, sir.
And hurry up.
Mr. Francis? Mr. Francis? Mr. Francis! Don't go away and leave me here. Mr. Francis! Where are you, Mr. Francis?
Keep quiet, you fool.
Can't you see I'm wearing the dead man's coat, Gregory?
Beg pardon, sir.
All right, give it to me. No, over here. Still not used to it, eh, Gregory?
Can I get you anything else, sir?
Get your hat.
My hat, sir.
We're going out.
Did you say going out, sir?
We're going to call on my friend Hamilton.
Oh, no, sir.
Mr. Hamilton is going to die a most untimely death, Gregory. A most regrettable occurrence, Gregory. But my friend Hamilton made the serious error of treating me very badly. And I promised him that one day I'd get even with him.
But you wouldn't murder Mr. Hamilton, sir?
Oh, yes, I would, my lad. I'd have done it long ago if I thought I could get away with it. But now...
But he won't even let you in to see him, sir.
Oh, yes, he will, Gregory, because you, my dear boy, are going to take me there.
No, sir,
No. And you're going to telephone my dear friend, Mr. Hamilton, and tell him that you must see him at once. You're going to tell him that you're in constant fear of your life. Which you are, Gregory, aren't you? And you're going to make an appointment with him.
No, sir! I won't be a party to the murder.
Ha ha! Fooled you, eh? Now, you'll do precisely as I tell you. And you know why you will, don't you? You'll be a party to murder or anything else I want you to. And if anything happens during our little session with friend Hamilton, if anybody interrupts us, why then, my dear fellow, you'll be found alone with a murdered man. Because I'm wearing the dead man's coat. So win, lose, or draw, you're it. Now, take this phone.
Therefore, gentlemen, we should very much like a response to our letter of the 18th, I believe it was, in which we informed you that we were about to send to you a shipment of the late...
Excuse me, Mr. Hudson.
Right ahead.
Yes? Hold on, please.
What is it, Miss Parmalee?
There's a gentleman outside to see you, a Mr. Gregory.
Oh, yes. Yes, Miss Parmalee. Ask him to come in.
Have him wait, please.
And you may go to lunch.
Yes, sir.
We do not wish to be disturbed.
Yes, sir. You may come in now, please, sir.
Ah, Gregory. Come in. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Well, I must say you are in a state. What's that scoundrel Francis been up to now?
He's going to... Hi. I mean, Mr. Francis.
Oh, there's a draft from the window. Not too much for you, is it?
No, sir.
Well, now, what's happened? Oh, I feel sorry for you, Gregory. I'm sure it's no secret to you how much he hates me, so... I suppose we're both in the same boat, aren't we? Gregory, what can I do to help you? You sounded most upset when you called him a phone. Don't tell me he's been threatening you.
Lock the door, Gregory.
What did you say, Gregory?
Lock the door.
No.
What's the matter with you, Gregory?
There's nothing the matter with Gregory Hamilton. Lock the door, I said, or I'll kill you too. There, that's better.
Help! Gregory!
I told you I'd get you. You sneered at me, and you mocked me, and you...
Gregory!
Gregory can't help you, Hamilton. Don't you recognize my voice? It's Francis, the man who hates you, the man who swore he'd murder you, the man that you wouldn't see because you're afraid.
No, sir!
Just stay where you are, Gregory, or... Remember, you're the one that's alone here with Hamilton. You're weakening, Hamilton. Can't get your breath, can you? Can't see me. I'm looking right in your face, Hamilton, enjoying every second of your death scene. And you can't see me because I'm wearing the dead man's coat, Hamilton. Gregory, come here, Gregory.
Yes, sir.
They're burying good old Hamilton this afternoon. Died of a heart attack, paper says. Oh, don't worry, Gregory. You weren't suspected in the slightest.
Aye, sir.
You conducted yourself very well indeed at the coroner's inquest. With me standing beside you, you were extremely convincing. Mr. Hamilton was an excellent health gentleman when I let myself out of his office. One of the most interesting things about this dead man's coat, you never know where I am, Gregory. Nobody knows where I am.
Can I get you a drink, sir?
No. You and I are going out. We're going to a funeral, Gregory. If I mistake not, the first of a good many funerals you and I will be attending. Now, let me see. We check off Hamilton. Then there's Mackenzie, Beveridge, Carteret. Get your hat, I said we're late. Dead man's coat. Very, very useful. Well, very touching. Come on, Gregory.
Where are you going, sir?
Why, I'm going to watch them lay away my good old friend Hamilton.
You said you wouldn't do that, sir.
Gregory. Why, of course I can do that. I want to be sure he doesn't get out.
Please, sir, let's get away from this place.
Wait for me. I'm going in to say goodbye to my dear old friend.
What's the matter, Ben?
I thought I bumped into somebody.
Nobody in there but him.
Well, it sure felt just like somebody standing in my way.
Well, if he is, he sure was invisible.
Gregory! Gregory!
Sir?
Huh?
Speaking to me?
Sounded like it came from inside.
No, it was me, sir.
Gregory, you said?
Yes, my name's Gregory. I was the last person to see poor Mr. Hamilton alive, sir.
I see. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. You lock the door.
Oh, sure. Just put a new lock on just before the funeral. Good, strong lock. Nobody will ever get in there.
Or out either.
Ben.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, it's Gregory.
Get that door open, Gregory.
I can't, sir. It's locked.
I heard him, you fool. Are they out of sight yet?
Yes?
Well, hammer on the lock. You hear me? Try the door. There's nothing in here to get hold of. Go to the car and get some tools. Try them. Hurry up.
Right, there's nothing in the car, sir.
Well, get something and try.
Very well, sir.
And hurry up. It's cold in here.
Yes, sir, I'm sure it is.
Let me take a last look at you, old friend.
What did you bring? What did you bring?
File, sir.
A file? You can't break the lock with a file.
Well, I thought perhaps the bar, sir.
Well, get started. Get started, I tell you.
No, sir.
What? What did you say?
I said no, sir.
Gregory?
I'm not going to try and file through those bars, sir.
Well, you're fooling, Gregory.
No, I'm not, sir.
But, Gregory, you're not going to leave me in here.
No, sir.
Oh, I knew you were only fooling, Gregory. Come on and...
No, sir.
Gregory!
Now, you listen to me, sir. I'm master here now, sir.
Gregory, listen.
I brought this file just to ease my own conscience.
No!
I don't suppose you know what that means, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gregory. Good old Gregory, I'm sorry.
It's a bit too late for that now, sir. You're a murderer, Mr. Francis. And you're already planning other murders.
I was joking, Gregory.
And you're a
please.
grave robber, too. And you've treated me very badly. You had me sent to prison. You knew I wasn't guilty.
Oh, I'll make it up to you, Gregory. Oh, Gregory, old friend. Think of how many years we've been together.
And you've mistreated me, sir. You've struck me. And you've threatened my life.
Oh, no. You can't leave me here, Gregory.
So I've made up my mind that you've got to be punished, sir. It's your own misdeeds, after all. You've nobody to blame but yourself.
Oh, Gregory, please. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you.
But you won't be making it up to Mr. Ingram, sir. Whose body you robbed. Nor Mr. Hamilton, who's lying inside with you there now, sir.
No.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Says in the Bible. But you wouldn't have read the Bible much, would you, sir? It says, judge not that ye be not judged. Well, I'm not judging you, Mr. Francis. I'm going to give you a chance.
Oh, Gregory, I know you would. Good old Gregory.
For crying out, sir. There'll be nobody here. There's nobody around for miles. And if and when they do finally come, sir, and they open this door, you won't be dead.
No.
You're probably reaching out through the bars now, sir.
Give it to me. Give it to me, Gregory.
You might be able to reach it, sir. And then again, you might not, sir. But if you can reach it, and it doesn't break before you file through them bars, very well then, sir, I was wrong. I'm not judging you, Mr. Francis. You judged yourself when you put on that dead man's coat.
Our last morsel of televised radio show goodness is an odd episode of the Suspense TV show. Suspense ran from 1949 to 1954, longer than any other show featured in this episode, but not as long as the Suspense radio show, which ran from 1942 to 1962. I love this weird little episode, and it was done at the Suspense radio show on 3 different occasions. See Boris Karloff in A Night at the Inn.
And now, Suspense. Your host tonight on the Autolite Theater is the maker of the famous wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plug. The spark plug that's ignition engineered by Autolite men who make complete ignition systems for many of America's finest cars. Autolite makes over 400 products for cars and trucks. Spark plugs, bumpers, hubcaps, headlights, radiator grills, batteries, wire and cable, ignition systems, speedometers, instruments, tail lights, and many more. So remember, from bumper to headlight, you're always right with Autolite. And its 60,000 dealers and service stations everywhere present the famous suspense story of the supernatural.
Go ahead, girl. Answer the door. Maybe some poor wayfarer.
Could you put us up for the night?
Sorry, sir. The house is full up.
But my wife's in the car and she's quite ill. We've been driving for miles and miles over these blasted moors.
Sorry, sir.
But you can't be full up. Why, the house looks empty.
That's right, sir. We're full up and closed.
But we really don't need a bed. We will sit by the fire all night. Anything to take my wife out of this misty night.
12 miles on, sir, you'll find a farmhouse. Sometimes they take folks in. Good night, sir.
But you're a tavern. You're a public inn. I can tell from the looks of you, you're practically empty.
Sorry, sir, but a certain party has taken this pub over, entire and complete. And as long as they pay for it, what they do is their own business. What I do is my orders. Good night, sir.
How much longer are you keeping us here for, Top?
He won't tell you. Never know a thing with the Toff. He's a quiet one.
How long did you rent this here pub for?
Your turn, Albert.
Will that be all for tonight, then, sir? It's late, you know.
You can leave out 3 meat pies and 2 bottles of claret.
Yes, sir.
And whiskey.
They're all on the dresser. Good night, sir.
Wait. You're the only one sleeping in now? You sleep alone in the garret, do you?
I do.
Well, I hope you sleep well tonight. And if you should hear anything irregular, don't feel you have a duty to get up and investigate.
Oh, no, sir, I won't. Indeed, I won't.
What's the idea, Top? What are you up to, anyway?
Never tell us, would you, Toff? Oh, he's a clever one, mates. And you and me, why, who are we? Just 3 bloomin' idiots. Am I right, Toff?
That's right, Sniggers.
3 idiot sailors. Lost on the blasted moor.
I tell you this, Toff. We may be 3 bloody merchant seamen to you, but there's one thing I've learned.
What's that, Sniggers?
Yes, sir. I've been sailing from cape to cape, and in all the rich corners of India. And there's one thing I've learned.
I'm waiting.
It's the clever ones, Toff. The clever ones that make some money.
Ah, he's right. It's the clever ones that keeps everything to themselves.
Their plans are clever enough, but they don't work. They don't work. 'Cause they forget some one little thing that simple fools like us could see.
Tell us, Top.
Tell us what your plans are.
Aren't you the clever ones, though?
I know what he's keeping us here for.
So they can't find us.
Ah, but I'm sick of it.
How can they find us?
They're nothing but 3 heathens. Who's afraid of 3 heathens, eh, Snickers?
We can't keep hiding forever, and then running and hiding and running forever, the whole black world over.
Remember that first night in Bombay?
Aye, that was the Top's mistake then.
He was clever, all right. He was so clever he lets them follow us right onto the boat.
That's where the old trouble started. If them 3 heathens hadn't followed us onto that boat, we might have had our little trophy sold by now.
Aye.
Am I right, Sniggers?
Sold and the money divided between us like we always said.
Aye. Hey. How much do you figure that ruby's worth?
Any price.
How much is any price?
Any price we ask. That's how much the ruby'll bring.
Cool, and here we sit on the misty moors.
Of course, you can't ever let on with a temper, Ruby. Folks is superstitious.
Aye. And no matter how big it is, if people knew we stole that ruby from a temple, right out of the bleeding idol's eye.
That's right. They'd never touch it.
Why? It's still a ruby, ain't it?
Yes, but it's a temple ruby from Hindustan.
And that's what makes the difference.
Did you hear steps?
I heard something outside. Wasn't steps exactly.
Wind. That's all wind.
Wind? Foggy night?
What'd you say, mates? Let's eat them meat pies and drink that claret and that whiskey.
Now, will you look who's in a panic now,
Albert, you've seen them 3 heathens. That makes it different, and so is Sniggers, but not me. Every time I hears a noise and every time
Look at here, Bill. It don't do no good to go looking and listening, 'cause when they come from behind. And and they come without a sound.
Like they did to poor old Jim in Malta.
That's right. Like they did to George in Bombay. Before we start.
Oh, easy now, Bill. We're safe out here. I give them dark devils the slip.
You give him the slip?
Aye.
Put a stick in the fire, Albert. Brighten the place up a bit.
I had the ruby, and I give them the slip. All three of them.
How'd you ever do it?
Well, they were following me.
Who told them you had the ruby? You didn't show it.
You didn't have to. They kind of know.
They kind of know.
Yes. They know if you've got it. They always know.
That's the mystery we was trying to tell you about. There they are now, following me down the streets of Hull. I goes up to a policeman and I tells him. And he says, oh, they're nothing but three Hindus and they won't hurt me.
Why'd you have the policeman arrest them?
For what? For trying to get back the ruby we stole?
Right, so I walks slow. Then I turns a corner, then I runs. I never sees a corner but I turns it. And I never turns a corner but I runs. And you know the streets of Hull. Well, after 2 hours, I sits and I waits. And what do you think?
What?
No priests.
What?
No dark devils with gold spots on their faces. I give them the slip.
Well done, Albert.
That's why I didn't jump when you said you thought you heard something. Because I knew we were safe. Now, come on, Bill, and play up. Play up. Whose turn is it anyhow?
Mine.
Albert, why didn't you tell us before? So you could ease our minds.
Because the toffee don't want me to say nothing, no. He's got his plans and things must be done his way. Oh, you and me are stupid fools. And if it wasn't for me what gave him the slip and all, we might have had one of them crooked knives in him right now. But for me, who'll give him the slip.
Albert, Bill, here's the idea. The priests have gone, our money's gone.
Right.
So what have we left? Go on to London now and sell that ruby.
Toffee won't come.
We'll leave.
He won't give us the ruby.
We'll take it.
You... How?
There's one of them. There's three of us.
We'll take it tonight and be in London tomorrow.
Simple enough, ain't it, Bill?
Simple enough. Once we get the ruby.
Don't worry about that. We'll find a way to get it from them.
Come on, please. Well, goodbye, old man. We'll see that you get your fair share. But there's nothing to do here. No girls, no dance halls. We must sell that ruby.
I'm not a fool, Bill.
Oh, of course not. Of course you ain't. And you've helped us a lot. Well, goodbye, old man. Say goodbye.
Of course. Goodbye. And open the shutters again, Bill.
I don't suppose you want the door open, too, do you?
Whether the door is open or closed, Bill, it doesn't matter.
Well, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Goodbye, coffee, old man. Come on.
In just a moment, we'll bring you the second act of Lord Dunsany's famous story of the supernatural, A Night at an Inn, starring Boris Karloff. While we're waiting for the curtain to go up, I'd like to tell you a little story about an amusing incident that happened recently. It seems that one of our local luminaries, Marvin, the mystical magician, had gotten himself all duded up for a big appearance over on the other side of town. Now, this Marvin was smooth all right, but you couldn't say the same for his car. It was missing and bucking like the Indian rope trick gone wrong. Well, our friend Marvin did his darndest. He took a deep breath, leaned back, and cut loose with a real powerhouse spell. Marvin could make elephants vanish and a whole stage full of people disappear, but he couldn't get rid of that engine miss. Well, now, naturally, no one like Marvin, who is supposed to be a prominent prestidigitator, likes to have people know that he's lost his powers. So our friend Marvin came in for some real Autolite magic. What he got wasn't really magic. It was a combination of Autolite service and Autolite ignition engineering know-how. Well, his case was very simple. It was a case of old worn-out spark plugs. So, without any abracadabra, we replaced those old plugs with some really new wide-gap Autolite resistor spark plugs. No, sir, it's not magic that makes the Autolite resistor spark plugs the wonders that they are. It's ignition engineering, the years of research by Autolite engineers that developed the sensational new resistor that's built into all Autolite resistor spark plugs. Remember that resistor. It isn't magic either, but you'll think it is when you see how its low rate of electrode erosion permits a wide initial spark gap setting. You see, it's the wide spark gap that permits you to use a leaner gas mixture, and that means actual gas savings for you. Not only that, the resistor that permits that wide gap setting helps you get a smoother idle, too, and increases electrode life 200% and more. Also, those Autolite resistor plugs cut down on radio and television interference. Yes, it's the resistor that does that, too. Well, Marvin drove out of here as smooth and slick as pulling a rabbit from a hat as soon as we equipped his car with Autolite resistor spark plugs. So take a tip from Marvin and replace your old worn-out narrow gap type spark plugs with a set of those sensational new Autolite resistor spark plugs. Remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. Now, here is the second act of A Night at an Inn.
So you are.
How did they get you? How did they get you, Tom?
They walked, of course.
But it's 80 miles from here to Al.
Did you know who was here, Tom?
Expected them about now.
80 miles.
What are we to do, Toffee?
Ask Albert.
If they can do things like this, there's no one can help us but you, Toff. I always knew you was the clever one. We won't be fools no more. We'll obey you.
You're strong enough and you're brave enough. And not many would steal a ruby eye from out an idol's head. And from such an idol as that was to look at, and on such a night, too. You're brave enough, Bill, but you're all three of you fools. Jim would have none of my plans, and where's Jim? And George, what did they do to him?
Don't stop it,
So your strength is no good to you. You need cleverness, or they'll have you the way they had Jim and George.
We know.
Those black priests will follow you around the world in circles, year after year, until they get the ruby eye. And if we die with it, they'll follow our grandchildren. And this fool thinks he can escape from men like that by running round 3 streets in the town of Hull.
What's truth? You haven't escaped them, because they're here.
So I suppose.
You suppose?
I took this place especially to receive them.
Well, you're a deep one.
I saw something just then. Hadn't we better shut the shutters?
Don't shut the shutters.
But, Toffee, they can see us. One doesn't let the enemy do that. I don't see why...
No, of course you don't. No revolvers now.
Well, why not, Tom?
Don't want any noise at my party. We might have guests who haven't been invited, but knives are a different matter.
I think they're coming now, Toffee.
Not yet.
Well, when will they come?
When I'm quite ready to receive them.
What do you do when they come?
I shall do nothing. They'll creep up behind me. And then my 3 faithful friends, Sniggers and Bill and Albert, will do what they can.
You can trust us, Toff.
If you're a little late or slow, you'll see reenacted the cheerful spectacle that accompanied the death of Jim in Malta.
Don't, Tommy. Leave me there, all right?
Now, I shall sit here. My back to that door. Now, you three go out, one by one. Mind now, be sure you cross that open window so they'll think you've gone to the other room.
I get it, Toffee.
Then crouch low, creep back, so that you'll be hiding here when I need you.
Night, Toffee.
Night, Tommy. Good night, Toff. Turn out the lights. Think the firelight will prove more inviting. No revolvers now. The police in Yorkshire are proverbially inquisitive. Be ready.
Toffee, we only got one. What do we do?
Only one?
Yes.
Very well. You shall now witness my demise at my Yorkshire residence. I shall be knight, and you'll be ready to receive guests.
We've got two, Toffee. What do we do now?
Still enough?
Yes.
Albert, you get over to the window. Stage a fight with that heathen. I know he's dead. But you and Bill are going to resuscitate him. On his feet. Sniggers, help them. Keep low, keep low. Out to the window. Quick now, quick.
Sniggers, turn him over. Easy. Hold up. Walk it.
Very good night's work, my friend.
Well done, Toffee. You are a deep one.
You deep one if there ever was one.
How much is it worth, Toffee?
Everything they have in the shop.
I'm sure we all ought to be very grateful to Toffee.
Well, I just have a knack of foreseeing things.
I should think you did.
I don't suppose there's anything happens that old Toffee don't foresee. Does it, Toffee?
No, I don't think it does, Bill. I don't really think it does. Turn on the lights.
What do we do with him?
Bury him in the garden.
Then what?
Then we go up to London and upset the ruby. Well, I think we've come through this night's work very well.
Well, the first thing we ought to do is give a little supper in honor of old Toffee.
Well, I think we've earned our bit of supper.
Here's the Toffee. Oh, who guessed everything right?
Aye, good old
Oh, here's the Toffee who saved our lives.
Here, it foresees everything. Speech, Top. Speech!
Well, gentlemen, I suppose in this world there are two kinds of men. There's the kind that can see.
What would that be?
No wind and the shutters slamming.
It's wind. It's blowing both ways at once. Look.
Of course it's the wind. Fog's lifting. Must be lifting. Must be the wind.
Fog looks as thick as ever to me.
Sniggers, go outside and fasten that shutter back. Go outside. Well, gentlemen, as I was saying, in this world there are two kinds of men. Those who can see and those who can foresee. Now, the advantage of being able to foresee...
I've been thinking about my share in that ruby. I don't want it, Toffee. I don't want it.
Nonsense, Sniggers, nonsense.
You shall have it, Toffee. You shall have it yourself. Only say Sniggers has no share in this here ruby. Say it, Toffee. Say it.
Want to turn informer, Sniggers?
Toffee, take back my share, Toffee. Take it back.
What do you mean? What are you driving at?
I saw something. I saw something what I didn't like.
What didn't you like?
Toffee, take back my share. Please take it, Toffee.
What have you seen?
The idol. I've seen the beastly idol.
You couldn't have.
Take back my... He's blind. He's groping. He wants that ruby eye back.
Then give it back, Toffee.
Please, Toffee, please give it back to him. I dare you, Toffee. Put that ruby in the window and you'll see. That's what he wants. That's what he's groping for. That's what he must have.
It's that obscene idol. Come from India.
It's taking its eye. What's that?
Say it.
Mr. William Jones, able seaman.
Albert, what is it?
What's happened? I've seen it.
What was it, Sniggers?
What is it? What is it?
Mr. Albert Thomas, able seaman.
Must I go, Toffee? Must I go? Toffee! Toffee!
Mr. Jacob Sniggers Smith, able seaman. I can't do nothing! I can't do Mr. Arnold Everett Scott Fortescue, late Esquire. Too late, the toffee.
This I did not foresee.
I thought that was a neat-looking monster, and I've always thought about painting it, but who the heck would buy that? We'll see you again in 2 weeks, fellow astronauts. Bye.